Hello everyone, welcome to ITLS Academy. So today in this lecture we will going to understand about what is medical food, what are different kind of medical food and how it is different from other food and why it is necessary to have a medical food in our diet. So let us understand by the definition. So according to the definition, medical food is a specialized category of nutrition designed for the dietary management of specific diseases or condition that have distinctive nutritional requirement. So basically medical food is specially formulated that meets the nutritional requirement of a specific disease. For example, if someone is having a disease, so particular disease, right? So we can um, give that patient a kind of a medical food that has all the nutrients that are very necessarily to help in coping up with the specific disease. So if we talk about FDA, so FDA what it has done, it distinguishes from the broader category of food for special dietary use and from the food that make health claim by requirement that medical food be intended to meet the distinctive nutritional requirement of diseases or any condition which are under the medical supervision, and they are intended for the specific dietary management of a disease or a condition. So the concept of this medical food, it was first developed in late 1950s. So it is not something new, but it was developed first in which year? 1950s. And basically they are originally designed for those with the genetic diseases that could not handled with certain nutrients, means you required a proper specialized nutrient to treat that genetic diseases. So first it was developed in year 1950s, and why it was developed? To design for the genetic diseases, and those genetic diseases that cannot be treated or that cannot be handled with a certain nutrient. So you required a distinctive nutritional requirement, you required a special new formulated nutrients so that to treat a specific disease. And according to the FDA, that is Food and Drug Administration, originally regulated medical foods as drug, means first in the first case when it was new to the market, so it was said that these medical food, it is related to as a drug only, because they were intended, why they were referred to drug in its early stages, because they are intended to affect the structure or you can say function of the body. Okay, now these foods are formulated basically, why it is known as medical food, because it is formulated, as you can say see, formulated to be consumed or administered internally by mouth or feeding tube, means you can consume these kind of food by your through your mouth or by a feeding tube. They are intended to be used under the medical supervision, matlab no one can use medical food on their own, only under medical supervision you can use these medical food. They are tailored to meet nutritional needs that cannot be met by a normal diet alone. For example, if a person is having any diseases, okay, so you cannot, and that disease is so severe that you cannot treat that disease with the normal diet that we take at home. But you need a diet that is full of nutrient, that is full of every nutrient in a balanced way to treat that disease. So this is what a medical food is. Now how medical foods, dietary supplements and functional foods are differ. So let us understand this. means how your dietary supplement, functional foods and medical foods, they are different. So first of all, there are some features, and we will going to discuss about the difference, and these are dietary supplements and functional food. Like for example, if we talk about the purpose, so dietary management of a specific diseases. Di- if we talk about the dietary supplements, so in a general nutrition and functional food, we all know that it enhances the health beyond specific basic nutrients. Now if we talk about the drug sorry regulation, so if we talk about the US, then the medical food has a Orphan Drug Act, and in India FSSAI. And dietary supplement, in India we have FSSAI, and in US we have DSHEA. Now in case of functional food, we have the food labeling laws, and in India we have FSSAI. If we talk about the medical supervision, so yes, of course, in medical food we required the medical supervision. In dietary supplement we do not require. Similar cases with the functional food. Now in case of form, means how you can take these food. So if in case of medical food, so we require the oral or internal, like through your formulas or liquids, you can have these food. And for dietary supplements, you consume these dietary supplements in the form of pills, capsule, or sometimes you have that powders. For example, if you see, if someone is having a calcium deficiency, so in market there are different kinds of calcium pouches are there. Okay, in pharmacy if you want, you can take it, and without any prescription they will give you that calcium pouches in the name of calciferol is there, D-rice is there. No, sorry, D-rice is for the vitamin D, but yes, for calcium they has calcium pouches in the name of calciferol. So you can add that one pouch where in a 1 glass of milk, and you can consume it. So you do not require any medical supervision for that. Okay, now similar cases with a functional food, like for example yogurt is considered as a functional food. Why? Because it is not giving you the daily the nutrient, but yes, it is given nutrient, but beyond your basic requirement. They are basically help in enhancing your health. Yogurt is there, different kind of juices is there. Nowadays there trend of beetroot juices with a cut of lemon, and with some mint thing is required for the healthy living. Okay, now it is very much useful for a person who is having a anemia. So now let's talk about the claims allowed. So in medical food, disease specific dietary management claim you can allow, and in dietary supplement, general health support, no disease claim, because it is disease specific. We all know, because since we have discussed the definition part, so medical food, they are disease specific. They claim that we are treating specific diseases, but no such disease claim is done by the dietary supplement. Similar case with the functional food, they claim that yes, by taking the functional food, you can enhance your health benefits, like for example heart health, for example liver health. Sometimes they claim about the muscles health, so they claim that, but not a case with the dietary supplements. Now let's move forward and let's see the importance in disease management. But before understanding the importance of medical food in disease management, let us understand why the what are the what is the regulation that are applied to medical food. Okay, so medical foods, since we are talking about how they are managing the diseases, so we have to understand the regulations also. So like medical foods, they are regulated as are other foods, and of course under the supervision of FDA. And of course FDA is there, Federal Food and Drug, and even the Cosmetic Act, the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act. Under the act, the manufacturer or the distributor is responsible for ensuring that the food is not adulterated or misbranded. So an ingredient that are used in the preparation of medical food should be approved. This is an important. Why? Because they are something that are going to treat the disease. So in that case, ingredient should be approved very thoroughly. Now there are different types of diseases in which these medical food helps. The first one is PKU. PKU is phenyl ketonuria, and PKU, it is a genetic disorder. Since when I was telling you about the history of the medical food, that it was first developed in 1950s, and it was developed to treat the specific genetic diseases. Okay, so in this case PKU, it is a kind of a genetic disorder, okay, where the body cannot metabolize. What they cannot metabolize? Phenylalanine, an amino acid found in the protein. So it is a phenylalanine. It is a kind of a amino acid that are found in the protein, so the body cannot metabolize that. So the medical food for PKU are especially formulated to be low or devoid of phenylalanine, preventing toxic buildup in the brain. So in this case, in PKU, where the phenylalanine, a kind of amino acid, a body cannot metabolize that. So medical food, they are especially formulated, and they are formulated. Why? To lower or the phenylalanine, and after lowering the phenylalanine, they prevent the toxic buildup that is there in the brain. So these formulations, they help to maintain a safe blood phenylalanine levels, that is around 120 to 360 micromole per liter, reducing the risk of the intellectual disability. So what they are actually doing, they are uh, reducing the risk of the intellectual disabilities, and they also helps in the behavioral issues, seizures. So in this way, they are helping a body to metabolize and help in coping up with reducing the risk of the intellectual disabilities and behavioral issue in a person. For example, amino acid mixture, a macropeptides, and protein hydrolysates, often used under the strict medical supervision. But yes, if I am a healthy person and I am not having any PKU type of a disease, so I cannot use a food that is a medical food in this case. Why? Because all these kind of food, they are utilized by the body under a medical supervision, and if a doctor prescribed, then only you can use. Otherwise you cannot, yeah, you should not use this, because again it will have a adverse effect in your body, on your body. Now comes the Ron disease. So Ron disease, it is a chronic inflammatory bowel diseases that impairs nutrient absorption due to the intestinal inflammation. So it is a type of a inflammatory bowel diseases, and in this case medical foods like elemental diet, it is a pre-digested nutrients. It is used, it is given to a patient so that it reduces the inflammation and support the gut healing. In this case it is very helpful for a person. Then these diseases are crucial during the flare up when the regular food may worsen the symptom. So in this case, in the case of the Crohn diseases, so medical food is more helpful for a person as compared to the regular food, because if you give the regular food, they can worsen the condition of a patient. So it is very important to give a patient the kind of a medical food. And what it do, it reduces the inflammation and it supports the gut healing. So the nutritional therapy can also correct the deficiencies like iron, vitamin B12, folate, which are common in Crohn patients. So again, in this nutritional therapy is given, and in these thing, the deficiencies like iron deficiency, vitamin B12, folate, it can reduces sorry, not reduces, it can correct the deficiencies of these nutrients, as well as it can heal a person with a good gut, with a good support to the different kinds of vitamins. Now comes why medical food matters. Yes, this slide is very important, that sometimes in exams also this question arises, that why medical food is important, or why it is becoming a common in nowadays life. So the answer is because medical food they provide targeted nutrition when standard diets are insufficient or harmful. So when your regular diet or your standard diet is insufficient to function, so in that case medical food is given to a patient, where they can provides the targeted nutrition and give a body a good amount of nutrient to cope up with the targeted diseases. Now this supports clinical outcomes by reducing the disease complication, of course. So what they are doing, they are supporting the clinical outcomes by reducing the disease complication. They enables the personalized dietary management aligned with a metabolic need. So this is how the medical foods are important. And yes, if we talk about the history, sorry, not history, if we talk about the purpose of medical food, so it has a very precise formula why it is matter. So these medical food no, so they are having some precise formula. So precise formula, like medical food, it is formulated to provide a very precise nutrient in a specific quantities. Okay, specific quantities are there. In that way medical food provided the precise nutrients, and yes, to meet the unique nutritional need of patient with certain medical condition. And yes, one of the importance of medical food is it has a disease management thing. Like it provide a very not provide, you can say it serve as a valuable component of the overall disease management plan by addressing the nutritional deficiencies and supporting improved health outcomes. So in this way it was very important. uh, and now let's talk about the global and regional definitions of medical food. In examination, 5 marks definition will be asked on the global food, on the food, medical food, with the topic or like a defined medical food on the basis of global or regional definitions. So yes, this is very important. So defined under the Orphan Drug Act 1988. So according to this, medical food, it is formulated for the dietary management of specific diseases or condition. They are intent for oral or internal administration. They must be used under the medical supervision. Now according to EU guidelines, it referred to as a food for special medical purposes, and according to MS, like a food for special medical purpose, medical food, they are especially processed or they are formulated for patient with a limited or you can say impaired capacity to ingest, digest and absorb or metabolize the ordinary food. Now comes the top 10 companies in medical food market in 2024. But before that, I would like to explain you the scope of medical food, or you can not scope exactly, the market trend and opportunities for the medical foods. So see, if we talk about the market trend, so technological advancement, increase consumer awareness, and strategic partnership. Now the point says like increasing consumer uh, awareness. So rising consumer consciousness about the impact of nutrition on health, driving demands for medical food is emerging. So the market size is expanding at a very large scale. Apart from these technological advancements, so in this medical food, incorporation of advanced technology in the development of production process of medical food is done. Now in this way, the market is increasing at a very large scale, and yes, people are consuming because they are giving the huge benefits of medical food. Like they have a very fixed, or you can say precise nutrient delivery. They are clinically proven formulations. They enhances the therapeutic outcomes, disease preventions. So yes, this is the benefits or the advantages of medical food. But whenever you are talking about, we are talking about the benefits, so of course there is again a challenge or limitation. So nowadays clinical awareness is a challenge, insurance coverage is a challenge, consumer accessibility is a challenge. So yes, and if we talk about the medical food market, so in 2024, these are some top companies like Abbott is there, okay, and Med Johnson is there, Nestle is there. So these are some top companies of these medical foods. So before ending the lecture, let us discuss some important questions, because in interview questions on medical food is asked. And what are the frequent questions that can be asked uh, in on the topic of medical food? So the first question are, does FDA regulate the medical food as drug? You can note it down somewhere. Like, does FDA regulate medical food as drug? So the answer for this is no. Medical foods are not drug, and therefore they are not subjected to any regulatory requirements that are specifically applied to drug. So you can use medical food as a food only, a food that is full of nutrient in a precise quality or quantity. But you cannot say that yes, these medical food is a kind of a drug. You cannot say this. It is a food, but it is not a drug. Now comes and a second important question is again the definition part, like what is a medical food. So already we have discussed. Now one question you can note it down somewhere, and like, has FDA established by regulation any criteria that clarify the statutory definition of medical food? So again I am repeating, has FDA established by regulation any criteria and that clarify the statutory definition of the medical food? So you can find answer on this question, of this question, sorry. And what are the labeling requirements applied to the medical food? So what are the labeling required? So for this question, answer is like, the labeling for the medical food must comply with the applicable food labeling requirement, and that except for those specific requirement from which the medical food are exempt. Like for the labeling of medical food, so one thing, food must contain a statement of identity. It is very important, a statement of identity, an accurate statement of the net quantity of the content, means what are the net quantity of a content. Again, I think I have spoken a little faster, so I am repeating. What labeling requirements apply to medical food? What labeling requirements apply to medical food? So the labeling of medical food must contain a statement of identity, number one. Second is an accurate statement of the net quantity of content. Third is the name and place of business, like of the manufacturer, packer or distributor. A complete list of ingredients listed by their common or usual name, and in decreasing order of the predominance, and any allergen information if necessary. So all these should be there while labeling of medical food. Okay, so that's bring to the end of the lecture. I hope you have understood the lecture. But still, if you have any doubt, any queries related to the lecture, you can simply leave your queries in the comment section below. In the next lecture, I'll be answering the queries. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. This is our helpline number, that is 7080833450. So you can simply call on this number. This is the WhatsApp number as well. You can drop your queries on the WhatsApp as well. And yes, this is our website, that is www.itlsacademy.com. You can simply visit this website and get updated if you want to enroll in any of the courses. So you can simply go to this website and get updated. Again, thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and yes, don't forget to press the bell icon to get more update on the lectures. Thank you so much.